Hello everyone, welcome to CSP2B. So in today's session, we'll discuss about access modifiers. Okay, so basically, what do you mean by access modifiers? Okay. So access modifiers are nothing but the keywords. Okay, that basically determines the level of access to a member. Member means variable or method or properties of a class. Fine. So in C#, there are 5 access modifiers. So one is your public, protected, private, internal, and protected internal. Fine. So what exactly a public is? Public is basically a member declared as public can be accessed from anywhere in the same assembly or in different assembly. That means class. Fine. It could be same class or different class. We can access it anywhere. Fine. And protected. Okay. Protected is a member is declared as protected can be accessed within the same class body or within derived classes. Fine. That is protected. And private. Private is a member declared as private can only be accessed within the same class body. Fine. That is your private. And internal. A member declared as internal can be accessed within the same assembly. Fine. That is internal. And what is protected internal? A member declared as protected internal can be accessed within the same assembly and within derived classes. Fine. So these are the access modifiers in C#. Okay. So default access modifier is basically private, which means that any member that does not have any access modifier, okay, so that will be considered as private. Okay. So basically the choice of using the access modifier, okay, it depends on the situation, okay, and the level of encapsulation required. Fine. So we'll discuss about encapsulation and things in later session. Okay. So let's move to our session. Let's discuss about public. Okay. Okay, fine. So let me create a property here. So this is my property. This is string. Suppose Oscar. Right? So this is a property. Fine. And I'm creating a method here. Suppose this is public void, let's say public method. Okay, so this is my public method. Okay, so here I'm writing I'm inside. Okay, so I am inside public. Right. So what I need to do? So I want to call this, I want to access this methods and this property, okay, suppose inside this main method. So now the properties and the methods are in the same class, okay, and the main method is also in the same class, okay. So simply I can create the object of program class, okay, program e equals to new program, right? So now I can call the property here p dot first name, okay. I can, if I want to, take the values from keyboard, I can write console.readline, or else I can simply assign the value here. That's it. Right. So now I want to call the method p dot method name is public method, okay. See, now we have called the method as well, okay. Fine. So if I want to print this, let's say console dot write line, okay. So I want to print the p dot first name, okay, right. So I need to read it, console dot read line, right. Okay, so let's run it. Okay, see, now our method is calling. So first the method is, it is showing I am inside public, okay. So we have called the method here first, so our output shows here that we are inside public, okay. Now the second one is, we have printed the first name, okay. We have printed the first name, this one as well, getting. So this is, we did it in, so okay, so this is we did inside in the same class, okay. So now what I will do is simply I'm going to create another class, okay. So another class is, let's say class, suppose access modifiers, okay. So let's say access modifiers, fine. So this is our class. So inside in the, okay, fine. So this is our class. So in this class I'm going to define a property called prop, okay. So this is string, let's say last name, okay, and a method public void, let's say call public, okay, call public. So here public method, okay, calling public method outside the class, okay, outside the class, fine. And this is the inside, calling public method inside the same class. Okay, inside the class. Okay, fine. Inside the same class. Fine. So now let's try to call these things. Okay, so this is our different class, right? And we'll try to call it the public member, okay, the public property and methods. Let me call it here. Okay, so what we'll do is, so I can call it directly because it is outside the class. Okay, so what I'll do is, to access the property name and the method, so I need to create, either I need to create the instance of this class here, then only I will be able to access. Okay, so if I am going to create an instance of this class, suppose sc equals to new access modifier. Okay, now I will be able to call it sc dot, let's say c. I can call it now. Fine. Okay, and I can call it ac dot, suppose call public. Okay, and this way also I can call it. So in another way we can do like that. So what we can do, so we can implement inheritance here. Okay, so for the time being you just remember inheritance. Okay, so in our latter part of session we will discuss more about inheritance. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, I just trying to inherit this. Okay, here. So this access modifier class is called parent class. Okay, or you can say base class. Okay, and this program is child class or your derived class. Okay, so what we are trying to do, we are trying to access the property and the methods, okay, which is present inside the parent class. Okay, we're trying to access it in the child class. Okay, so basically we're trying to access property and method of our parent class inside the child class. Okay, so see, now what I will do is, so I have implemented here. So let me try to find out whether I can able to find it or not. Okay, see, now it's showing me last name, right? Showing me the last name and the method also. Yeah, see, call public is, now I'm able to call this method as well. Okay, fine. So now let me print it here. Let's say console dot last name. Okay, so let me run. See, so the program execution starts from here, right? So now it is calling that I am in public method. So first method is public method, okay, which is in the same class, that means inside program class. Okay, now after that it is going to this properties and assigning the values, then it is calling the call public method, which is outside the class, program class, outside the program class. Okay, inside the access modifier class, this call public method is present. Okay, so here what we have written, we have written I am in public method 2. Here it is. Okay, it is showing I am in public method 2, and then it is printing the first name and last name. right? This is the first name, this is the last name. So this is about your public, and this is how you can access your public member, right? Let's discuss about protected. Okay, so protected is basically accessible within the same class. Okay, protected, accessible within the same class or the class derived from the containing class. That means where the members is present, right? Okay, so let me show you one. Let me create a protected method here. Okay, so okay, fine. Protected. Okay, protected. Say the method name is suppose test. Okay, fine. So this is my protected method. Okay, so I'm in protected. Okay, fine. So this is my method. Okay, so protected says you can only access within the class. Okay, within the same class only. So I can able to access this method here. Okay, so let me create instance p equals to okay and e dot test. Okay, so see now I'm able to call this. Okay, if I run it, let's see. Fine. Okay, see, so now it's calling the method test. Okay, I'm in protected. Fine, it is calling fine. So now another thing protected says what? The first thing, you can access protected method or member within the same class, or if it is in different class, then you can access it by implementing inheritance. Okay, so how? Let me create it. Okay, fine. So this is my class. Sorry, this is class suppose demo. Okay, so I'm creating this method. Just cut this and paste it. Okay, see now what I need to do, I need to implement inheritance. Okay, yeah, fine. Column, fine. This is the containing class. Fine. Okay, this class contains our protected method, and here this is the parent class and this is the child class. Okay, so we have implemented inheritance here, and now we have created the object of child class and we're calling the test method. Now see, let me run it. Okay, see, I'm in protected. Fine, it is running, it is calling the method. Okay, see, it is calling the test method. Okay, so this is about protected, right? Okay, so in case of public, what was happening? In case of public, you can call anywhere in the class. Okay, anywhere inside the class. Suppose this method is, see, this method is here in the different class. Okay, let's say this method is public, so I can simply create the instance of demo class here and I will call it, I'll be able to call it this method. Fine, but in case of protected, it is not going to happen. See, let me show you here. So see, if I'll simply try to call it through creating the instance of demo class. Okay, demo dd equals to new demo. So I will try to call it. Okay, this method is test, right? See, it is not going to call. Okay, so it will throw an error. So if I will make it public, if I will make it public, see, I will make it public, then it is fine, then there is no error. Okay, I can call it. Fine. But if it is protected, then you can only access if it is inside the same class, or it is, if you are implementing the inheritance. Okay, fine. So that's it. So that's it for protected. So let's discuss about private. Okay, so private member can be accessed only within the same class. Okay, so we cannot access it by object or using the derived class, right? Okay, so remember, we cannot declare a class as private or protected internal. See, if let's see. Okay, private. Okay, see, it's showing you cannot declare it as a private, protected internal, or private protected, right? So only you can declare as a class as public. Okay, you can declare it as public or internal. Okay, or internal, right? Okay, we'll discuss about internal later. Okay, so let's understand private, right? So let me define a method here. Private void. Let's say this is my method. Okay, so I'm writing here I'm in private. Okay, right? So now I can access it inside the program class. Okay, so this is my private method. I can access it by using the program b logo, right? So I can access it. Okay, so let's say p dot method. Okay, so I can access it here. Let's assume I have another class. Let's say class, suppose private. Okay, so this is my another class. So in this class I have a private method. Okay, this is method 2, right? So I am outside class. Okay, so I'm outside the class. So let me try to call it. So how we can call it? So this is our method, another method. Okay, sorry, this is our method 2. This is our class. Okay, this is our, let's say this is a different class. So let me try to create the object. Okay, p equals to, this is my another class. So I'm trying to call it here. Sorry. Okay, pt dot c. It's not showing the method. Okay, it is not showing this method. Even I just copy it and paste here this method, it's showing error. Okay, what error? Inaccessible. It is method 2. Okay, method 2 is inaccessible due to its protection level. Okay, due to its protection level it is not accessible. It's saying that. Okay, but here in the same class we can access it. Okay, this method 1 we are able to access it here, but if a method is outside the class, if the private method is outside the class, we cannot access it by using the object or by using the derived class also. So see, if I make it public, see, now there is no error. It is fine, completely fine. Now I can access it. If I run it, it will run also. See, now I'm able to call both the method. Okay, outside the class it is public, it is calling fine. Okay, and this private method, it is in same class. Now I'm able to call it here. Okay, so the moment I change it as private, okay, private, and it is outside the class, so I'm trying to call it. If I run it, it will throw an error. Okay, it will throw an error, right? See the error. Private method 2 is inaccessible due to its protection. Getting? So this is about your private. Okay, fine. So let's start with internal. Okay, internal access modifier in C#. So what exactly internal access modifier? So internal means it is only accessible within the same assembly. Okay, if suppose a class is internal or a method is internal, so that means it is only accessible within the same assembly. Fine. So let me show you an example here. Okay, so let me create a class. So this is class, let's say demo. Fine, this is my class demo. Okay, fine. So I'm going to create a method here. This is my, let's say, public. Okay, fine, public void, let's say, method 1. Okay, so this is my method, this is my public method. Okay, fine. This is my public. Okay, so let me create another method, private void method 2. Fine. So this is my private method. Okay, and let me create another method that is protected void. Okay, that is method 3. Okay, this is method 3. Fine. This is my method 3. Okay, and internal void method 4. Okay, this is my internal method. Fine. Now protected, fine, internal void method 5. Okay, so this is my protected. Okay, so I have created a class here. Okay, I have created a class demo, and so these are my methods. Okay, so let me try to access these methods outside the assembly. Okay, so this is my project shortcuts. Okay, so let me create another project here. Okay, add new project. Okay, so select console application and keep a name. Okay, let's say access test. Okay, so this is my access state. Okay, so this is my access test project. Fine. So first of all, what I need to do, I have to give the reference here. Okay, reference of this assembly, reference of this shortcut. Okay, so how I can give the reference? Simply I just have to right click in the access test, then add project reference. Fine. Then go to browse. Okay, click on browse, and you can see this is the project. Fine. This is your shortcut. Okay, this is the project, and inside this you have to open the bin, then debug, then shortcut. Okay, so click on add, just select this and okay. Fine. So now our reference got added. See, the assembly here is added. Okay, so now let me try to access. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to add this using shortcuts. Fine. So let me create a class here. Let's say class. Fine. Class, suppose my demo. Okay, this is my demo. Fine. So public. Okay, static. Fine. This is my main method here. Okay, so here I will try to access, okay, these classes. Okay, these classes and methods. Okay, so let me try to access. Okay, so our method 1 is inside demo class. Fine, demo class. So let me try to access this class. Okay, let me try to create the instance of this class here. Okay, inside access test program class. Fine. So okay, so let me create demo okay, demo d equals to new demo. See, the error it is showing, demo is inaccessible due to its protection level. Why? See, go to this shortcut. Okay, this program.cs. So demo class here, it is internal. Why? Because we have already discussed in our previous session, if you are not giving if you are not specifying any modifier, okay, so by default a class is internal. Fine. So by default a class is internal. So as we discussed, that internal is only accessible within the same assembly, right? So this one is different assembly, so that's why it is throwing an error. Fine. So the moment I will change it, see, this is by default internal. Fine. So now it is only accessible within this assembly. Fine. So outside the assembly it is not possible. So let me change it. Let me make it public. Okay, public, because it is by default internal. Fine. So I make it public. I made it public. Fine. So now see, now there is no error. It is fine. Fine. So let me try to, now we are able to create the instance of this demo class. Okay, so we made it public, and now we are able to create the instance of this. Fine. Outside the assembly, this one we have created the instance. So now I will try to call these methods. Let's see. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, so this instance is d dot. Okay, see, only this, see, the only method 1 is showing here. Okay, we can only call method 1 because method 1 is only public here. See, method 1 is public. Fine. Private we cannot call, okay, outside the assembly, and protected can't, and this is internal we can't call. Okay, so if I made this everything public, see, if I made it public, and this is public, and this is public, and okay, so up to this. Okay, fine. So see, now let's see, d dot method. See, method 1, method 2, 3, 4, right? Up to 4 we made public, right? Up to 4 we made public. All the methods are here accessible. Fine. We can call all the methods up to method 4. Okay. We can call method 2. Okay. And we can call, method 3. Fine. And we can call method 4. Fine. So all the public classes and public methods we're able to call it here outside the assembly. Fine. So internal we cannot access outside the assembly, only inside the, if something is internal, see, if, let me create it. Okay, so fine, so here I can access it. See, if I'm creating the instance of demo dt, okay, fine, so see, now demo dot, fine, so here I can access it. See, I can access the, that internal method is method 4, right? See, this method 4, fine, this one we're able to call it here, fine, without any error. Fine, so this is and also we're able to create the instance of this internal class. So that means, what we learn here, that means internal is something is internal, then we can only able to access it within the same assembly. Fine, so that's it about the internal. Okay, fine, so let's start with protected internal. Okay, so protected internal, basically we can access it inside the current assembly or from the type that are derived from the containing class. Okay, so let me show it to you first here. So this is our class demo, fine, and method 5 is our protected internal. Fine, so we'll try to access it here. Okay, so let me create an instance of demo. Fine, demo. So demo dot, this is method 5. Okay, see, sorry, this is method 5. So method 5 is our protected internal. So now we're able to access this protected internal inside the current assembly. Fine, let's try it outside the assembly. Okay, let's try it. So our outside is this. Okay, this one that we have created before. So let me try to call it. So how can I call it? So I need to inherit this. Fine, this class is demo. Fine, this is demo. Fine, this is demo. So I need to do inheritance here. Okay, and I'm going to create the instance of derived class equals to new mind. Fine, so let me try to call this method 5, dd dot method 5. Okay, so see, now I can able to call method 5 here. Getting? So I can also able to call dd dot, say, method 1, method 3. Okay, I can also able to call it. So method 1 is public, so I can able to call it, okay, outside the assembly. Fine, and I can able to call it, say, dd dot method 3. Okay, dd dot method 3, I can able to call it. Fine, see, this is protected, you can call it, right? This is protected internal, so you can call it. So we cannot, if you try to call this private, okay, private method here outside the assembly, see, let's try it. Okay, sorry, this private method is method 2. Okay, let me try to call it here. See, it is throwing the error. It is showing the error. See, method
2 is inaccessible due to its protection level. That means we cannot call this private method outside the assembly. Fine. So private method you can only call within the same class, right? Within the same class. If you try to call it here also, see. Fine. See, you can't call it. Fine. You can only able to call it inside the same class. Right? So that is about our protected interval. So hope you understood, guys, access modifiers in C#. If you have any doubts, please feel free to ping me or mail me in my mail ID. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel.